a perfect fall day here in Georgia. It's end of October, so the temperatures are in the 70s during the day and the 40s and 50s at night. It's our first year garden here, and I just wanted to make a quick video of what we've got going in the garden in the fall here and some of the other projects that we've been working on. And this is where it all started. This is the south facing side of the house, where we have put in our raised beds, and we're just about finished. I think this is all we're going to do for this year, definitely. And we also are still using some of these Rubbermaid trash cans, which grow certain crops pretty well. This is a tomatillo and some mustard. A lot of the things that like warm roots do well in these. We got some Swiss chard and lettuces, and of course cilantro, which I can't plant enough of. Sometimes Leslie has to hide the seeds. I have mustard and spinach, more cilantro. And these large beds, these are 4x12s that we built. Right now we've got on the left there's some cabbage. There's also some beets and a row of carrots and some red romaine in there. In this bed we've got some nice multicolored Swiss chard, of course some kale planted in there, and these are really nice red cabbages that I'm hoping will have enough time to grow a nice head of cabbage. We've got onions, more cabbage, some red lettuce in there. This is a brand new bed, still not finished yet. I had to terrace it a bit. So really it just needs filled with soil. This I'm excited about. This is a 4x4 completely planted with garlic, elephant garlic, and two other varieties of garlic. One an organic that we bought just from the grocery store, and another one just probably from non-organic from a grocery store. So we're going to see how they do. You plant them in the fall, and we're hoping to harvest in June or July. This is another 4x4 bed just planted with different lettuces and some red romaine and onions in between. More cabbages, romaines, red lettuce, more lettuces. These are our first attempt at collards, which Leslie just made a nice collard soup. So we're true southerners now that we're growing collards. She planted some Romano beans in there. Over here we've got a whole sea of kale, red Russian kale, which looks really nice right now. Some different lettuces, and this is our lemon tree, which the lemons are just starting to turn lemon color. They've been green all summer, so we're hoping that we don't get a bad frost or something that destroys them. This is an eggplant that's doing really well. Got some eggplants on there. More collards. This is a tomatillo, which is just covered with tomatillos, and the honeybees are of course all over the flowers, doing a good job of pollinating. Got some cayenne peppers still on, which we've had a really good harvest of. And Leslie's going to dry those and make some cayenne pepper flakes and powder, and some Swiss chard over here. So everything's looking really well. We don't have to water near as much now that it's fall, and pretty happy with all the greens that we're getting. Have to go check out the bees over there in the corner. Now, the 3 beehives that we started earlier this year in the spring are doing really well. I'll give you a close-up, but even on a day that's barely in the 70s, they're really flying and bringing in pollen, which is mostly goldenrod right now. Now, on a nice warm day, you can smell honey fermenting all the way over to the garden, so I think we're going to get a good honey harvest next year. And I'm still feeding them a little bit of sugar syrup just to bolster their supplies to get them through the winter, but yeah, I think I'm hopeful next year we're going to get a nice honey harvest. Over on the north side of the house, of course, Leslie's herb beds are also doing well in the fall weather. This is her parsley plant, and she's still got green onions and oreganos and rosemary and sage and some basil still growing. We've also got strawberries, which I'm also really excited about. I planted 50 strawberry plants, and in Georgia, a common technique is to plant plugs of strawberries in the fall in October, and then you harvest them in around June, July, and then a lot of people just tear them out and start over again in the fall because they tend to get kind of some sort of disease that makes them weak year after year. But I might try to keep them going just by using the runners. But these are 4x6 beds and one that I'm still working on. So we're hoping to have a great strawberry harvest next year. And in the background is where I'm hoping to start planting some fruit trees. I've got some space to move out where the ground starts to slope upward and we get a lot of sun in this area, so I'm hoping it would be a good place for apples and pears and blueberries and blackberries and raspberries and all that. So I'll keep you updated. It's going to be a lot of work, and I'm probably going to have to cut down some trees to get some more sunlight in there. But that's the plans. Stay tuned for strawberries. And another quick project I wanted to talk about was our rain barrels that I put in earlier this year. Wasn't sure how it'd work out, but I actually really like this kit. Who sells it? Ace Hardware is where I got these, but I think you can find them on Amazon too. Fiskars is the brand that sells these, but they match the house. They're kind of a low-key color, and the kit attaches to your downspout, so all the water comes down. There's actually a little filter in here that catches, if I can get this off, it catches any debris that might clog up like a normal drain. And when the rain barrels fill up, which they're almost full right now, it doesn't take much rain to really fill these, and I've actually got two connected together. When they fill up, it automatically sends the rest of the water down the spout, so you don't have overflow issues. And you can read the reviews online, but the kit, it kind of comes with a cheap faucet or outlet, so they recommend upgrading to like a brass one you can get at Home Depot. But we use these a lot to water. And it's nice having the extra rainwater because we're on a well, and if our electricity cuts out, we're kind of out of water for a while. So it's nice to have a few extra 100, 200 gallons of water that we can use after we filter and clean. So yeah, I highly recommend these. I'm really happy with them.